Robert Kiyosaki is most known for his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but his business and investing advice is taught throughout his 25 books. Some find his advice controversial, but you can't argue with him when it comes to the rich and poor earning money in completely different ways. Following his concepts and earning money the way the rich do has great potential and also presents the most tax advantages. Learn from Robert Kiyosaki's rules to achieve success so you can escape the rat race and earn money the way the rich people do. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Experience makes you smarter. When Kiyosaki first began his real estate investing career, he used his credit card to fund the down payment on a rental property. Due to his high amount of leverage, the cash flow was very little. He ended up making a significant profit due to rising home values in the area in Hawaii, but the experience he gained from the process is what was really valuable. We can read and study endlessly about business and investing, but actually going through the process is where we can gain a vast amount of knowledge. The more experience you have, the better and more profitable choices you'll make over time. Take everything that comes your way, whether it's good or bad, as a learning curve that can prepare you for future success. The more you give, the more you receive. Kiyosaki said that when someone he meets doesn't have any money, it means they're not giving something. Giving is an attitude that will lead to financial success, whether it's giving more effort to your work or sharing blessings with others. If you're not seeing the success you'd like in your finances, you're simply not putting in enough effort in the right places. Effort is required to see your desired outcome. The reason most people don't become successful is because they're not willing to set forth the effort that's required up front to see larger successes in the future. Stick with it. It could take some time before the hard work pays off. Change the way you think. Becoming successful requires thinking differently than others. Before Kiyosaki became wealthy, whenever he got paid, he would pay himself first before any of his bills. Doing so meant that he had nothing left over to pay his obligations, which forced him to think outside the box to be able to make ends meet. When bill collectors would come after him, he looked at that as motivation to create more income from businesses or real estate investments. The easy way to pay bills in the short term would be to get a job like everyone else, but he knew that this behavior would harm him financially in the long term. He didn't want to get stuck in the rat race of never-ending employment like his poor dad did. Remember, if you think the same way everyone else does, you'll end up in the same place doing the same thing as everyone else. Focus. Kiyosaki believes that it's better to focus on one thing at a time instead of diversifying. His acronym for focus is follow one course until successful. When he started in real estate, he stayed with it until he figured out what worked and what didn't before changing his efforts to something else. Society commonly succumbs to shiny object syndrome and never ends up following through with one course of action until it works out. Constantly hopping from one new opportunity to the next makes one hard to perfect. Once he became successful in real estate, he ventured into businesses and other forms of investing. Sometimes the key to success is to follow through with one thing instead of jumping to new ideas every few months. Becoming an expert in one field takes patience, failure, and eventually success. Hard times present opportunities. Economies in the world cycle over time, but even during hard times, new opportunities present themselves. It's up to you to be on the lookout for these so you can take advantage of them. For example, when the real estate market crashed, Kiyosaki was able to purchase 5 golf courses from the bank at a fraction of what he thought they were worth. Many people break under pressure of these uncertain times, but those that are able to think critically and act have a huge amount of potential. One of the most common examples of this type of action is buying stocks when the market crashes, but each cycle is different from the others. You need to always be on the lookout and proceed with caution. Run businesses properly. One of Kiyosaki's first businesses was a wallet company. He was successful and then he sold many wallets, but the business was always losing money because it wasn't run correctly. Having a good product is absolutely essential, but a large portion of success comes down to working efficiently. Take a look at a fast food restaurant and ask yourself if they provide the best product at the absolute best price. They probably don't, but they can still earn a profit if the business is run well. Independent restaurants have an extremely high rate of failure, but it's not always because their food is no good. It's usually because the owners simply don't know how to operate and market a business optimally. Ideally, a business should be designed to raise its own money automatically without needing someone else to raise capital. Know how you're earning money. There are multiple forms in which income can be earned, but everyone should be aware of what type they earn. The different ways people earn money have drastically different tax implications. Taking a look at the United States, earned income or salaries are taxed higher than any other type of income, making earned income an inefficient way to build wealth. You're working hard, usually the hardest way to earn money, only to give the largest percentage of your earnings to the government. Portfolio income, which could be buying and selling stocks at a profit, is taxed at a lower rate, making it substantially better than earning a salary. The best type of income is passive income, which comes in even if you're not actively working, and it's often not taxed at all. The tax code is written to encourage people to earn income in this way, but most people never learn about it. Don't be afraid of losing. Most of those who have become successful have done so only after failing multiple times. This is pretty common knowledge among the rich, but not so much among the poor and middle class. They often don't realize the struggles people must go through to actually make it. People shouldn't be afraid to fail because this often prevents them from trying in the first place. Kiyosaki himself has lost millions of dollars before succeeding, like many other successful business people. He says that a baby learns to walk from standing and falling repeatedly until they're able to do it properly. The same thing happens when learning how to ride a bike. Investing and entrepreneurship are no different, as you can't expect to be an expert when just starting out. You can read, study, and listen forever, but like riding a bike, you won't fully learn until you do it. Don't let the fear of failure keep you from starting. If and when you do fail, know that others have done the same and success is right around the corner. Don't save money, hedge it. Saving money is an antiquated idea that hasn't been practical since the dollar was taken off the gold standard in the 1970s. This meant the value of the dollar no longer represented an actual amount of gold. Since then, savers have become the biggest losers because the value of the dollar is continually eroded as the banks print more money and dilute the currency while prices of goods rise. Interest from a savings account almost never keeps up with inflation, so the value decreases the longer it sits in cash or in a bank account. The bank might pay 1% interest if you're lucky, while inflation averages 2% at minimum. Kiyosaki recommends hedging money instead of saving it by investing in assets such as precious metals, commodities, or real estate. Their prices increase as the value of the dollar usually falls. Their underlying value will tend to increase as well. Robert Kiyosaki has some excellent advice to offer. It often goes against the advice of traditional financial planners who encourage people to work, save, invest, and eventually retire, but his principles do make sense. They've helped countless others understand the proper way to earn money. His advice is valuable if you want to become financially free and hedge against inherent economic risks.